Here are 3 training methods you can use whenever you're short in time in your gym session. The following training methods I'm going to share with you shouldn't be an everyday thing, and you shouldn't use it in all your volume in your working session. For our first training method is very popular and it's called supersets. Now supersets are very popular, and the downside of it being very popular is that it has a lot of myths around it and a lot of different techniques of using supersets which are actually ineffective. Supersets are great because you can do 2 exercises right after each other with minimal rest. And what's great about supersets is that it has a good hypertrophy stimulus because of the very good pump that it can give. But you must understand, overusing supersets a lot isn't effective, and using it all throughout your program will affect how good your progressive overload is. Tracking your supersets can be easy, but the problem with it is that accumulation of fatigue can affect your progressive overload over the long term. Even during your session, if you're using supersets a lot, you're going to find yourself getting weaker on your next exercises as well. What's the correct way of using supersets? As I mentioned, there's a lot of people that use it in a very ineffective way, and that is using 2 exercises that target the same muscle group. So if you think you're going to be using the 2 same muscle groups right after each other, you're not gonna accumulate a lot of fatigue and affect your progress as well. That's why when we do supersets, we do 2 exercises that have antagonistic muscle groups. So your first exercise will be training your chest and triceps, and your second exercise will be training your back and biceps. Now you can do this with both compound exercises and isolation exercises. In both cases, supersets work very well. A good example of a very good superset is doing a tricep push down and having minimal rest and then training your biceps straight away. So always keep in mind that you wanna minimize the use of using supersets and only use it when it's necessary and you're very short on time on that day. Now for our next training method, this is kind of new to many people and for myself as well, and it's called Myoreps. Myoreps is basically your first set, you go for a high rep range to be able to fatigue the muscle as much as you can. And then for your second set, with the least amount of rest time as possible, you go ahead and you train for a lower rep range. So we can put things in perspective. Your first set will be in that range of 10 to 20 reps, and then for your second set it can go for a lower rep range between 5 to 10 reps. I love this method coming from the Principles of Hypertrophy by Dr. Mike Israel. The idea of fatiguing your muscle from the first set is that you want to be closer to the effective range of hypertrophy, which is around 0 to 5 reps in reserve. And experts recommend using Myoreps with isolation exercises only, as using compound exercises can be very dangerous to do the Myorep training method. Now you must understand that Myoreps is actually very fatiguing and it can be very tough on your body, so it's not recommended to do this training method very frequently. Now for our next training method to save you as much time as possible are drop sets. You may have heard drop sets before, and I'm going to tell you how to do drop sets effectively and save you time in the gym. Now the idea of drop sets is working at your normal working weight with a higher rep range and your first set. We're talking about 10 to 12 reps, 12 to 15 reps. Then for your second set, you go for a lower rep range, which goes around 6 to 8 or 8 to 10 reps. And of course, you drop the weight down to be able to meet that lower rep range. You must choose a high rep range that you're gonna do for your first set, then choose a low rep range that you're gonna do in your second set. And all of your subsequent sets should be the same as your second set. Just choosing that lower rep range and then just keep decreasing the weight after each set. Only reduce the weight once you're not able to get more than 5 reps. I generally recommend using this at the end of your workout, as it can be very fatiguing and you won't be able to do any of your next exercises very well. And should you be using compound exercises or isolation exercises, I'd recommend you doing isolation exercises for your safety. To be able to get the best results for hypertrophy or muscle growth, you need to have a good program or workout routine design. Now if you want to learn how to create your own routine, in my recent video I share with you the 7 hidden principles of creating your own routine. I hope this video was a ton of value for you, and if you found this video useful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like these, and I'll see you guys in the next one.